For Chinese high net worth families, Hong Kong has become flavor of the month, I would say, especially in the last 6 months to a year. In January this year, I put out a report asking the Chinese high net worth families, which is your preferred international city? And actually, it's a fascinating report. As a Brit, I was pleased to see that London made the top 10. But number 5, let's see if you can guess with me. Number 5 was Paris. Number 4 was Tokyo. Number 3 was New York. Number 2 was Singapore. And wait for it. Well, you already guessed it. Hong Kong was number 1. Not by a small margin, but Hong Kong was massively number 1. Now, part of it perhaps was sort of also triggered by the fact that the Iran war has meant that some people have been leaving Dubai and Abu Dhabi and have come to Hong Kong and made it even more international as such. But another reason is a story that I heard the other day from a friend in Guangzhou. So he was saying to me, Rupert, I've just managed to get my green card to go permanent residency for Hong Kong. So why do you want to go to Hong Kong? He says, well, first of all, it's quite easy for me to get to Hong Kong because I come from a big university. In fact, he's a graduate of Peking University. And if you come from a global top 50 university, apparently it's easier to get permanent residency. And then second, he says, well, I want to take my family down to Hong Kong with me and then put them into international schools there. I'd like my children to have a more international outlook. And I think this is perhaps what triggered us to do a report today with Prudential Hong Kong on the Hong Kong international schools. And it's not just talking about Hong Kong international schools, it's also talking about Hong Kong as a destination in itself and its current attractiveness, if that's the right expression. Every year, I've been doing for the last 3 years a list of the top top schools, high schools in the world. And we managed to rank 180 something high schools in the world that made our cut. And what was quite interesting is that whilst America and the UK were top 1 and 2, obviously, the big number 3, meaning that about 8% of the schools on the list was China. And so Shanghai and Hong Kong had more international schools than any other city in China. In fact, Hong Kong had 3 international schools that made our cut. It had CIS, which was right near the top of the list. Then you had St. Paul's Co-ed and you had Hong Kong International School. But in fact, there's a load of other schools that are really worthwhile pointing out. There's Wickham Abbey, which is a British school that set up a school in Hong Kong and has become very successful. There's Harrow Hong Kong. There's a bunch of other schools that are definitely worth your attention. So the idea behind this report is to sort of try and understand a bit more about the attractiveness of Hong Kong as a destination. Well, recently, certainly for mainland Chinese, it's all about the stock markets because every other day you hear of a friend who's saying to me, Rupert, I've just gone and put up my IPO in Hong Kong. So I'm waiting. I'm in a queue. There's 500 companies ahead of me, but I should, with a bit of luck, manage to IPO early next year. You hear of these stories more and more, and every other day you also get a new IPO in Hong Kong, and every week you get quite a significant one. So Hong Kong as a capital markets destination is really significant. I think the second one that has struck a lot of Chinese international families has been that Hong Kong's universities. I often, when I meet Hong Kong people, they always sort of show off to me and say, do you know, there's only one city in the world. Guess which one it is. Easy to guess this one. Which city in the world has got 5 universities in the top 100 of whichever the big international rankings are? And it's not what you might think, London or New York, apparently. Apparently it's Hong Kong. So there you go. I think that's actually also been a big factor that sort of helped, Hong Kong's destination become more attractive. And there's a lot of research and development that's now happening out of these universities. It's attracting talent, not just from China, but from all over Asia and beyond as well. So I think that's also something that's worth pointing out. Anyway, well, look, the third one is, of course, it's a really nice place to live. It's got a nice lifestyle, and it's it is undoubtedly the most international of cities in China to choose to live in. And actually, for a lot of people, that's really significant. So I had a number of friends living in Shanghai before, and not a few of them have actually moved down to Hong Kong. And the reason is very simple. It's much more international. It's the most international city in China. And with that comes not just a good lifestyle, but also a whole lot of sort of international. You can actually get onto sort of a whole lot of internets that you can't reach here, and so on and so forth. Anyway, so thank you again to Prudential Hong Kong for doing this sort of special report with us. And I very much hope that you enjoy reading a little bit more about what is it that makes Hong Kong so attractive, especially these international schools. Thank you very much and see you soon.